Hello again, Gills fans. Welcome back to the latest episode of Gills in the Blood TV, a day later than usual this week. So the Monday review is in fact on Tuesday, and that is due to the fact that our weekend FA Cup tie was moved back 24 hours to the Sunday, which Boz and Stocky brilliantly did the match day live for. So well done to both of them. An excellent watch for myself and plenty of others. I couldn't make it to the game, unfortunately, when it was changed to the Sunday afternoon, but we got through. And obviously the biggest news is Monday night's draw was done, and we will be welcoming this man to Priestfield at the start of January. That is, of course, Neil Warnock, recently turned 70 at the weekend. He will be bringing his Premier League side, Cardiff City, to the Medway Priestfield weekend starting January the 4th. For me, it's an excellent tie. When it was initially done and I was watching it live, I thought, oh, it's a bit underwhelming. But if you look at it, there's only 20 Premier League teams left in the competition out of 64 sides in total, and we've managed to pick one of them 20. It would have been a great away day if it had been at the Cardiff City Stadium, but it's not, it's at home. So fingers crossed, we can sell loads of tickets, we can get a big crowd in, we can have a fully fit squad to choose from. And chances are Cardiff will obviously have one eye on the Premier League and trying to stay in that division. So hopefully they'll rest a load. And I think it's got all the makings of a cracking cup tie. We will be the underdogs, unlike the first two rounds against Hartlepool United and Slough Town. So it's one of them where I think it's a free swing, and we just have to go and have a go. Potential for an upset? Maybe, yes. I think a lot of that will depend on what side Neil Warnock puts out. But in terms of revenue, I think it'll create quite a bit, because we should hopefully have a bigger crowd than obviously what we are getting currently. I'd be disappointed if there's less than 8,000 in there for that one. And at the moment, we're just waiting to confirm what day it is and whether we get picked for TV coverage. But yeah, a really good draw for me. It's a Premier League side at the end of the day. It's not Man United, it's not Man City, Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea or Tottenham, but it's Premier League. I'd rather be playing them at home than, no disrespect, someone like Shrewsbury or Barnet or Grimsby. So looking forward to it at the start of January. Gives all us fans something to look forward to after the New Year and Christmas festivities. But let's go all the way back to Sunday now. And this strike saw us into the hat for the third round. That is, of course, Darren Oldacre's wonder goal that got us into the hat, in amongst the big boys, and as far as we've got in the competition since 2011-12. A really good goal. Tricky conditions, in as much as it was an artificial pitch, something that we're not used to playing on. I know we trained on a 3G pitch in the week, in the build-up to it, to get used to it as much as possible, but clearly we don't play on this type of surface every weekend like Slough pretty much do. They come out and had a real go. I've seen the highlights, watched Boz and Stocky on the match day live avidly. Boz was adamant that we got away with one and that Slough were the better side. But I think, personally, I think he's done us a little disservice. It's a game that maybe a month ago we'd have lost. Under 80 pennant, we'd have probably lost. But again, we dug in, despite not being at our best. And I know the stats said that Slough had 21 shots to our 10. But at the end of the day, we both only had 4 on target, and plenty of what I saw on these FA Cup special final score and then the extended highlights in the evening, excuse me, were that a lot of their shots were coming from long range, and Thomas Holy was watching them go by his post or over his crossbar. So I don't think it was 21 clear-cut chances or one-on-ones or anything like that. And we were more clinical. We obviously had to listen to Steve Lovell, and he got into the boys at half time, and they reacted great. And it's another assist for Tom Eaves, and it's Darren Oldacre's most important goal, I'd imagine, since getting into the first team. I know all his goals for us have been in knockout competitions, but yeah, probably his biggest and most important in terms of where it's got us and the draw it's got us for the next round. Super goal. Tweeted out yesterday that since he became a regular at the end of October, he's featured 8 times, and we've won 5 of them games, drawn 1 and lost only twice. and he's scored 1 and he's provided 2 assists, both for Thomas Eve. So finally getting it right, learning the game still, of course. DJ still a kid, but off the ball he's been much improved, and his ability with it was never in doubt, was it? And it's great to see him being a success in the middle of the park, and as I like to say, long may it continue. Bring on the big guns. That was the headline on the back of Monday's Medway Messenger. That was Darren Oldacre. He wanted Man United at Old Trafford. Not quite, but still a Premier League team for you, DJ, to pit your wits against in about a month. Inside we do below par, Gilles edged through. As always, I'll read out Luke Cordell's final paragraph of his match report. This wasn't pretty. There won't be many wanting to see a rerun, but that's FA Cup football for you. The Gilles would have only made national headlines had they lost, so they'll be grateful that the large media presence had no giant killing to feast on. Spot on. We weren't at our best, but we dug in. We were defensively sound. And when we got our proper chance, Darren Oldacre took it. And then we managed the game superbly from 1-0 up, I think. So they're never going to be pretty games in these fixtures when you have to go to little non-league sides, little grounds, tight-knit crowd, right on top of you on the pitch. You can hear every word, you can hear every bellow from the touchline, every piece of criticism that comes your way. So fair play to the boys for digging in, is my attitude to look towards it. And we're getting everyone back fit again now, which is great to see. There's not really anyone that's unavailable. Dean Parrott came into the side from the one that started Tuesday for the suspended Callum Riley, so it was a pretty seamless switch. And bottom line is we got the job done. We look a bit further into the paper. Steve Lovell echoes that sentiment. Result was all that mattered. His team might not have shown a great deal of quality at non-league Slough, but they are through to round 3 of the FA Cup. The boys dug in, and all credit to Slough, said Lovell. They've given us most probably one of the hardest games we've had all season. The way they came at us and put us under pressure. They stopped us from playing, and I'm just delighted for the boys because they defended very well, which we had to do, and a great goal won it. There were perhaps a couple of opportunities to add to it, but we went to win the game, and how we won doesn't matter in the end. Exactly. We've won 1-0. It could have gone in off someone's backside for all I care. We're in the hat for the 3rd round. We've got a Premier League team in the next round, and let's look forward to that. Because just to sort of build on the thing about Darren Oldacre, in terms of form, it's 6 wins from the last 10 in all competitions now. After that horrendous autumn run where we didn't win for about 12 or so. And then we went to Portsmouth and won, and we thought we could maybe build on that, and it didn't work out for one reason or another. But we're starting to show signs that it is turning. We're winning games. Defensively, we look a lot better. We're getting the balance a little bit better, which is great to see. And we do have a fully fit squad to pick from pretty much. So all positive at the moment. Win will boost our confidence. Just another bit there from Steve Lovell. Lovell's men have now won 6 of the last 10 games in all competitions. Half of those have come in the league. The Gilles boss said the results have turned around, and results do give confidence to players. If you get your squad back fully fit, which we've done, it helps. Sunday's game was a one-off, an FA Cup tie, and we've known in the past anything can happen. We just don't want that anything to happen to us. Unfortunately, we avoided it. And now we can flip it on its head, look forward to the Cardiff fixture, see if we can go and cause an upset, see if we can put Cardiff in the national headlines for all the wrong reasons and get a bit of coverage for our football club, positive coverage. Of course, we'd have all loved one of the top 6 or whatever, but it's a big club still at the end of the day. They're going to bring a good following down, you'd imagine. And I tweeted this morning that the last time we played Cardiff in the FA Cup was away at the old Ninian Park in 1997, and we won 2-0 with goals courtesy of Ife Anora and Andy Hessenthaler. I think Adi Pennock played centre midfield that day. We had a few injuries. Leo Fortune West unfortunately was out of a broken leg, and we had a couple of central midfielders. Simon Ratcliffe being one was missing, so a good result that day. And let's hope that the footballing gods are smiling on us again come January, and we can put on another good show, put on a good performance, and maybe cause a cup upset. I, for one, remember the great FA Cup run of 99-2000 when we saw off, I think it was lucky losers, Darlington in one round, Walsall in another. And then we got Bradford in the 3rd round who were a Premier League side at the team, boasting the likes of Dean Saunders, Peter Beagrie, Neil Redfern. And we battered them 3-1, I think, on the night. Andy Thompson, Barry Ashby and John Hodge scoring the goals, and it earned us a home tie against Sheffield Wednesday, who had top internationals in their side. The likes of, God rest his soul, Pavel Cernacek was in goal, and Wim Jonk, I think, was playing centre midfield, who was a Dutch international at the time. I think the big lad up front was a Belgian international, Gerard Seebon, who put them in front. But for our point of view, it's all remembered for the Nicky Southall goal. Absolutely outrageous. And John Motson and his sheepskin coat sat in effectively a building site of a Medway stand that was hurriedly put together to create more seats and more availability. And we then went to Chelsea in the quarterfinals and got battered, but no one cared. And it'd be great to sort of relive that and recreate that this season if we can. There's no midweek game this week, so the boys get a full week off to recover and recuperate before we get back to league business on Saturday. Start of a busy period. Next 2 games, Scunthorpe away this weekend and then Wickham at home the following Saturday. 2 huge games. I think if we could pick up 4 points from them 2, that would represent a great return. And then the busy Christmas period. Charlton, Portsmouth, Doncaster. Some really good games coming up. And we can approach them obviously with a bit more confidence now, because 6 wins in 10 is decent. I think we've only lost twice in that period, or 3 times, I believe. I think it's Oxford, Blackpool and Luton. So if you break it down a bit further, obviously Blackpool were on a great run when they turned up and beat us. Luton are a very good side at this level. They're going to beat plenty of sides better than us, and Oxford was the most disappointed of them 3 defeats. But in amongst that, there's been some decent wins. The cup thriller at Hartlepool, the cup win at Slough at the weekend, you know, doing the different side of the game, something that we've perhaps not done enough of this season. The thumpings at home of Bradford, and Fleetwood. The Checker Trade win, which was a great fillip for all the younger players in the squad that were involved that night. So yeah, it's a lot more positive than it has been, and we're definitely going in the right direction. I think I broke down in a tweet that we played up till before Sunday. We'd played 26 games this season. The first 13 we'd only won 3, and in the second block of 13 we'd won 5. So we're going the right way. Win percentage is up, loss percentage is down, draws were the same, goals scored per game was up, goals conceded per game was down. So lots to be look forward to. I think in December, we all know as football fans in this country that Christmas and New Year's are a busy time. There's football on pretty much all the time, which is great. I mean, the wife's had the ump this week. I mean, I've watched Champions League last week, and then there's been FA Cup Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday this week. We've got Premier League on BT Sport this week, which is great, and it's only going to keep coming thick and fast, which is superb. We've got England doing well, so I think if you're a football fan at the moment, it's really positive. But as a Gills fan, it's spot on. Right, that's enough for me. I'll be back Thursday with Boz for a weekly roundup, which will probably be a quiet one. Mainly will be a look ahead to Scunthorpe at the weekend. Please keep watching the Match Day Live. Like I say, Stocky and Boz did a great job Sunday. Please keep liking, subscribing, sharing, spreading the word. And until next time, up the Gills.